Hello, everybody. You're looking at somebody who has COVID. So just take it in for a moment and notice that people who have COVID look just sort of like the rest of us. I am in my, let's see, somewhere, I think in my fifth, sixth day. so I wanted to go ahead and meet with you today because I think that there are some, for me, there have been some profound experiences that I wanted to, that have to do with attention. And the image that keeps coming to me is of when a pebble drops into a pond and it ripples, the experience of just being with what's happening, in me and around me was reminding me of the whole concept of surrender, which had never really made any sense to me, and also brought up my inner rebel of, I'm not surrendering, I'm the boss of my own life, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do, which was a great survival tool for me when I was younger. It actually did help me to survive, to have that strong rebel. But there was something, and there continues to be something profound about, I was sharing with Michelle that it's kind of like falling down a well and continuously falling down a well. And so there's this sense of when I go with, something profound is happening inside me. And I also was looking at what is the possible gift or gifts in this pandemic. And I've discerned many of them over these last two plus years. But the one that's coming now is going with, the value of going with. So I just wonder how much of our lives, how much of your life is involved with arguing with what is. And at any level, whether it's the cognitive level, like this can't possibly be happening. I've done everything I could and I've taken all the precautions and here I am. And then the meaning that we make out of that, like there must be something wrong with me, or I must have done something wrong, so it must be my fault, or it must be your fault because you didn't do something and then I got sick because of what you did. And the normal drama that we invest ourselves in, there's a lot of phlegm in here, you can probably hear it, and it comes up in waves. So let me just have a drink here. This is the most I've talked in about 24 hours. So I want to invite you, just as you're listening, to imagine that my words or the vibration or whatever you're getting, letting that land in you like the pebble in the pond. And then giving your attention out, maybe out to some other people, and letting your attention land on them like a pebble that goes ripple, ripple, ripple. What I'm getting is that the ripple is still continuing. So each time we let something come in and we let it ripple, that ripple then becomes part of the weave that we're creating together. And so I'm inviting you to let the ripple of going with, the ripple of being with what is occurring and deeply receiving that. So there, I'm also, the other words, I get ripple and I'm also getting rest. And I've mentioned this before in our calls, but I'm getting that the profound need that we all have and that the planet has for rest. And that, in the beginning of the pandemic, we called it the big pause. And all of the opening and the ripples that were able to occur and that are still occurring, for example, with whale populations in various areas from the ripple of the rest are beginning to revive. So letting rest and rippling be the rhythm, the 3 R's, the rhythm of resting and rippling, I'm finding really sweet. There's a sweetness in it. And for me, the surrender is not a giving up. I'd always had it associated with giving up. And for me, that's associated with the um, in love scoops with fainting. So I would get surrendering connected with giving up and dying, and I wasn't going to do that. So for me, this is this kind of really profound rewiring that surrender is a very deep going with, and recognizing that in my individual consciousness don't know all of the going with that can happen. But as I let myself ripple, so as I ripple out into you and then ripple back into me, there's a larger rhythm that starts to unfold, and it's unfolding between us. And so I invite you to let whatever has touched you, like just even today in the last couple of days, whatever has touched you to continue to touch you and to ripple. And without, because mostly I just have been being in bed and riding these waves of just kind of delicious, okay, here we go. And going with that, it's been quite actually a kind of a delicious ride. Also because everything else, like emptying the trash and, returning a note has kind of disappeared. So coming down to the fundamentals. And I really am experiencing this as what are the fundamentals? And what continues to come to me is that the way that we use our awareness, our consciousness, and our intention is the most profound gift that we can continue experiencing and sharing with each other. And so as I'm speaking to you, I can see you and your attention I'm feeling and letting that ripple in me. And even though people may not be able to tell you, I guarantee you that they feel it. So the impact of your attention, you're giving someone the gift of your attention, which is really, when we come down to it, when you don't have anything that you can play with except your own consciousness, that's something that we carry with us throughout life and can continue to be a recent death of Thich Nhat Hanh, who for me, and I'm sure for millions of others, has been an embodiment of presence and an embodiment of rest and of resting in the midst of life. And so I think that giving also the worldwide attention that's been given to his passing is also an opportunity for each of us to feel what we've been playing with for 2 years now, of bringing your consciousness together with your actions, together with where you're placing your attention. And that was the essence of what Thich Nhat Hanh was about, is presence, full presence in your actions. And so as we're gathering today, where in you is wanting your attention and the ripple, and maybe also self right. The last few days, there had been this sort of interesting kind of pulling, can't quite get comfortable where my neck kept sort of feeling into that and just being it experience of falling. And when I let myself just really, this whole tight place in my back just opened up into this kind of profound spaciousness. So probably calling for your attention. Of give some of that, and then being with the ripples inside of you, letting your body respond to that, seeing what wants to happen with your breath. And what I'm getting is that the and go with that we find new rhythms of being in the world. And you can also is immediately drawn to this plant over here in the corner here, which had been neglected for the last couple of weeks. And so it was kind of, and so I'm looking over at it because I gave it some loving attention yesterday, and today it's gone. Boom. So you can, as you're looking out around you, there are little signals of where attention is wanted. And it can be out, could be with the whole planet. So just notice that if you attend, there'll be a little signal like over here, over here. And also, I got just the profound, really nothing needs to be done. Doing comes out of this resting and this natural uprising act in the world. So I invite you this week to let yourself start feeling into the and whenever I would push on that over the last several days, I think, well, I should do something. My body would go, nope, nope, forget it. And so it was really a wonderful kind of uh, natural needed, which was to find a new way of acting in the world. So the rhythm of acting when I'm called to act is so different than I should or I must or I haven't yet. And what I found is that when I do that, my acting is so much more efficient and easy and just part of the ripple. So that's what I didn't know I was going to share with you today, but here we are. And I appreciate you all being here. And so rippling, resting, and rhythm. And I look forward to sharing what's next. So thank you. And I'm going to take my leave and
Thank
go
you,
and
Katie.
rest. Thank you.